What is going on, y'all? Hope you guys are doing well, and today's video is basically just an update video on my funded account. If you guys are not subscribed, then maybe you missed my last video. Go check that one out. But my last video is basically me going over passing a funded evaluation. So now I am funded $50,000 with TPT, or Take Profit Trader, and I want to go over kind of my first week on that account. So my first week actually went very well. I was patient. I did not overtrade. I did not revenge trade, nothing like that. And we ended up in profit, y'all. And we ended up in profit $1,150. So over halfway through making my buffer on the account. So if you guys don't know, a lot of the funded accounts these days, once you're to the funded stage, you have to have a $2,000 buffer. And then anything over that, you can start withdrawing, which on this account, anything over $2,100, once you get that, so $52,100, once you reach above that balance, you can start withdrawing your profits daily. So that is my goal, is to get that buffer and then start getting payouts, which is ultimately what you want to do with the funded account, right? That's the whole goal of this, is to make money. So great first week. Want to go over kind of my chart here. It's not, honestly, the back end of TPT, it's pretty good, but it's not as in-depth as like Lucid, for instance. So it doesn't go quite as in-depth, but it's still pretty good. So let me show you this. So if you can see here, this is my 50K account, TPT, and this is my equity curve. So $50,000, boom. We start off slow, and then my last good trading day, I had a beautiful win up here. So if we go down, you can see the daily journal, and it's showing on the 6th, which I believe this was the first day of the account, made nothing. On the 9th, I made $207. On the 10th, I made $150, $101.50. And then on the 11th, I made $841. Now what this doesn't show, this shows just like the total for the day. So it doesn't show all the trades that I took within that range. And a lot of those days I took a loss. Those like $200 winning day and that $100 winning day, I actually took a loss, and then after that I took a win. I took a loss and then I took a win. So I ended up making a little bit of profit, and mainly I was just trying to, once I recouped my loss and then made a little bit on top of that, I would just cut it, just to keep the funded account afloat, right? I was playing very carefully and very defensively, and that's really my goal with this account. And then on that next day, winning day, June 11th, where I had that $841 win, I entered and price started flying in my direction, and I just kept trailing my stop and profit, and then it just kept on going. Ended up making $841 when I hit my final TP. So that was a great win. That was over 1 to 2. I usually risk no more than $300 per trade on my funded account. Now I know some people want to risk $250, some people risk $500 if you're very risk on. I'm trying to take a little bit of a medium approach to this in terms of risk, and I'm risking, like I said, no more than $300. I want to take it slow. I want to be able to lose multiple times without like freaking out thinking, okay, I'm going to lose this account. If you risk $500, I mean, you have 4 losses and then boom, that's all your drawdown. You lose twice in a day, and that's $1,000. That's half of your drawdown, and I do not want to lose half my drawdown in one day, especially because I will take 2 trades in a day. If I lose my first trade, I will give myself another opportunity. So if I lose that next trade, I don't want to be down 1,000. So if I'm betting, if I'm risking 300, then at least if I lose 2 trades, I'm down $600. And so it's a little bit easier to take than $1,000 in half of your drawdown, because instead of losing $1,000 in 2 trades, it takes over 3 trades to lose that. So it gives it a little bit more leeway. Everyone's different. I'd love to know down below. Let me know in the comments what risk you guys take to either evaluations or funded accounts. Evaluations, I do risk more. I risk like $400 to $500 because it's just an eval and I'm trying to pass it quickly. But on funded, I'm trying to take it nice and slow, get those bigger wins for higher risk to reward, and then take the small wins when I can, recoup losses when I can, and if I end up taking the full loss, which I haven't had like a full-on losing day yet, but I know that time is coming, it's bound to happen, so I'm preparing mentally for it. Hopefully it's not this week, but maybe it is. Today, as I'm recording this, it's Tuesday the 16th of June, and I didn't take a trade yesterday on Monday, and I haven't taken a trade yet on Tuesday, but in a couple hours here, I'm preparing for Asia session, so we'll see. Although FOMC is coming up tomorrow, so it might just be a chop day. It might not be even trading until maybe tomorrow, Wednesday, or maybe even Thursday in the week. I'm taking this slow, guys, and I think that that's something that you guys can take away from this video if you are in that spot where maybe you're stuck in eval jail, you're trying evals and you're not able to pass them, or maybe you pass evals and then you're losing your funded accounts. Just be patient with it. Take it slow. Imagine the feeling you will have whenever you finally get that payout. Is that whether you get that payout in the next 2 days or in the next 2 weeks or in the next 2 months, that timeline shouldn't matter. It's only about passing and being smart with your decisions. And honestly, I think trading defensively and like how I've been is really helping me, and just sizing down. Especially there's some trades where I even risk less than 300. If I'm not as confident in it, or maybe I already took a loss, maybe on that second trade I don't even want to risk a full 300 and I want to risk 150, 200, 250, just risk a little bit less. It makes you feel even better and makes you hold winners longer, in my opinion. So that is some advice I can give you. But yeah, pretty good week, man. Week 1 of trading the funded account and up $1,150. So that's pretty good, man. That's more than I make from my day job in a week. So just the fact that, I'm also keeping that in mind. I just made more trading in the week than I made during my day job. So that is amazing, and I'm trying to keep that mentality and just not get not start trying to push it balls to the wall and get the payout as fast as possible, because that is when you start messing up. That's when you start making tough decisions, or bad decisions, I should say, actually. And you could lose your account. And ultimately, I'm trying to keep this account for as long as possible. I'm trying to, even once I get this first payout, I'm trying to keep continuously getting payouts. This is a TPT Pro account, so I will be able to get daily payouts. So let's say I hit one of those $850 bangers, I could get $850 in 1 day payout. And just the thought of that is like crazy. That's absolutely amazing. That's like my whole paycheck for a week's worth of work, 40 hours worth of work I can get in one trade, in one payout. It's absolutely insane. And that's, this is just like level 1 of trading. Imagine like you have 3, 5 accounts, 10 accounts. People have, I know someone that has 80 funded accounts. He's having 6-figure weeks like nothing. And that's the power of being able to milk these prop firms, which is ultimately the goal. But you got to start out at base 1, and that's where I'm at. Finally getting the hang of futures as I switched from Forex. If you're subscribed, you guys know that. But if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and like this video. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible, share this journey with you guys of getting funded and hopefully getting payouts, or not hopefully, when I start getting payouts on futures accounts. I want to share that with you guys, share the process with you guys, share you guys different prop firms that I'm using, which ones I like, which one I don't like, the strategies I'm using. I even have trade breakdowns, stuff like that. And then some psychological videos as well. Like I said, if you haven't been a subscriber, I used to trade Forex for the past 5 years until this year. I traded Forex, and I was funded with multiple different funding companies in Forex, and I've gotten payouts with them. But I ultimately decided to trade futures and make the switch because Forex was very, I'm not even gonna, I guess you could say the industry was volatile, and it was very my funds did not feel safe anywhere. Prop firms were shutting down left and right, which I know can still happen in futures. Things still happen, but futures overall is a lot more regulated. And ultimately, with the goal of getting these funded payouts and then creating a personal account and being able to, grow that and compound that, as well as milking the prop firms, it's a lot more regulated, and the money is a lot safer than, in these Forex offshore brokers that really they can just take your money and run. You can never hear from them again, which does happen and did happen for multiple people. So yeah, that's my video, guys, and that is the week 1 of trading this funded account. So subscribe, like the video. If you guys want to follow along, would really appreciate it, and check out the past couple videos because I've been going over this process from the beginning. Also, just starting businesses in general, starting a power washing business with my dad. I'm going through, want to kind of document all of that process and share that with you guys. So if you're into any of that kind of stuff, entrepreneurship, trading, trying to make it in life, definitely subscribe. So appreciate y'all. Hope you guys are trading well, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.